It's Madden NFL 23. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Green Bay Packers and the Washington Commanders on EA Sports.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Green Bay Packers and the Washington Commanders. And a welcome in, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, so much gets made about offensive comparisons. Here's a matchup where the defenses may just take center stage.
Yeah, we're usually talking about guys scoring touchdowns. How about the guys who prevent them and change the momentum of the game when they take the ball away? I love those ball hawks in the secondary. People after my own heart.
The veteran Joey Sly set to get us started, and we are underway in our nation's capital. Fielded just outside the goal line. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. He's at the 40. 20. 10. He will take this all the way. Touchdown. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. So how about that for an intriguing start? The opening kickoff of the ball game, return for a touchdown. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback, Carson Wentz.
And when you look at him, you see that he's got all the tools you want in a quarterback. The big frame, quick release, strong arm, has escapability. The issue sometimes, tries to do too much instead of just taking the throws that are available to him, and occasionally turnovers get him into trouble.
Wentz first play going right to the air. Escaping the pressure, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback. A lot of talk the other day about them wanting to quiet this home crowd early and often. Very first play of the game, they do just that.
You're exactly right about that, because that's often a conversation when you go on the road and you travel. Hey, let's take the crowd out of it. What a great way of doing so by putting the quarterback on the deck.
You know what we need, baby.
A situation they'll certainly want to avoid going forward. An early second and long they're facing. Another try after the first down sack. Wentz, that's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
So on fourth down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. Here we go with the Packer offense guided by their decorated QB with a long list of Pro Bowls and other accolades next to his name, of course. Aaron Rodgers leading the way.
I remember watching him in college and seeing a guy that you knew had great potential, but I don't know that anyone knew that we would see how he would blossom as an NFL player who will go down as one of the all-time great quarterbacks. Can make every throw from every angle with terrific mobility, and he knows how to win games, always in contention for a championship.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Rodgers going to throw. A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they've got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
Rodgers now on first down. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. And this is caught by Watkins. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Commanders bringing out the nickel package on third down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. It's Cobb. And the Packers are going to have a first and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter. As they come up now, 2nd and goal. Dillon is going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? Now Rodgers. And it's a Packers touchdown. Robert Tonyan, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Packers go up by 2 touchdowns. Well, down in this part of the field, CD, they love to get him the football, and right there, a little pitch and catch for the score.
Yeah, and he's such a weapon when it's that close to the end zone, and they love being able to rely on him to make those kind of catches. Talk about trust, talk about confidence, and he produces.
Now Crosby for the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it was Robert Tonyan capping it all off on the touchdown grab. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Take it in at the 3. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Wentz, and he wisely will throw that one away.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Let's go, man.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Wentz now to throw. And that's going to be incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Wentz. Slings this deep from McLaurin. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander.
And I think this is a situation where a quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Throw left side complete. That's Jones. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run for the first with Dillon. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
So now on 4th down, Rodgers will give way to Mason Crosby for the field goal try. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. So on now for the Packers at their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. The kick by Crosby is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. Taken in at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Wentz's throw into the hands of McLaurin. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Wentz. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes. Stayed in bounds.
7 yards there and a 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. From the red zone now, Wentz. Over the middle, he gets it. And a loose football. And the Packers pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. Gets past 1 man. They find some open field here. And all the way to the opposite 48. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. This one complete to Tunyon underneath. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Let's go, baby.
2nd and 2. Throwing now is Rodgers. He'll go right back to Tunyon. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Well, every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know, as a defender, it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. The kick by Crosby is good, and that will extend their lead even further. With some complimentary football there. One side, your defense forces the fumble, and then they drive it down the field. Now, obviously, Charles, they wanted the touchdown, but at least they were able to drive it down and get 3 out of that.
Yeah, now we'll have to see how the other sideline responds because they had plenty of time during that field goal to think about that fumble and how they were going to react. What are they going to do when they get the ball back and try and make things a little bit better for their team?
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. This will be fielded inside the 5.
The Commanders take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand-new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, a look at the next-gen stats for the Packers in that first half. And even though they've got the big cushion, I would imagine they'd like to see a little more out of...
Well, you can't skip halftime on Sundays, but you can right here. So it's over, and on to the third quarter we march. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. Taken in at the 3. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he takes it all the way across the 40 before going out of bounds. The Commanders up first on offense as we begin this third quarter. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
Wentz now on first down. He's going to let this one go deep. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. That one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. You come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
What's the deal, y'all?
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at the 20. And right side, they're going to go option here. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Rodgers going to give this one to Dillon. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers to throw. He'll get this to Lazard. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Rodgers teaming up with Lazard there for a Packer 1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Rodgers now to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another 1st down there.
So after 2 1st downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Now Rodgers. And he's going to hook up with his big time. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His 2nd catch in a row, 1st down.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild. And here's another completion for good yardage.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our 2nd half blowout material. To throw, it's Rodgers. That's complete to Cobb. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Now Rodgers. That's complete right side to Lazard. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 18. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Back now at FedEx Field. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Now it's Rodgers. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
At the 15-yard line.
2nd and 8. Rodgers going to throw. And that one finds the ground, breaking a string of 5 straight completions. And it brings up 2nd down. No, third down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's not locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Touchdown! Aaron Rodgers hitting Allen Lazard as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And Patterson not going to return this. It'll come out to the 25. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down. With this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline, because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
Oh, partner, when you see a screen pass and the defensive tackle ends up making the play, you know that one wasn't sold well at all, because he should be upfield by the time you throw the pass. If not, you end up with big trouble, as we just saw right there.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wentz. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far and brings up 3rd down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now Wentz on third down. Taking a shot for Samuel. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Now Wentz, gotta have this one. Slings this deep for McLaurin. And this one is incomplete. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Dillon up the middle. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
That kind of puts the bow on what has been a complete performance, Charles. They're pitching a shutout on the other side in this offense. They've done their thing well, too.
Yeah, this game has been all-out effort from them on every snap, and there's a good amount of pride on the line right now. They want to finish what they started. They want this shutout preserved.
Extra point try now for Crosby. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
Taken at the goal line.
A lane opens here. He's past the 30. Solid return. Pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
Here comes the Commanders' offense back onto the field. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while. But everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points, down by 4 touchdowns, haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from start to finish.
Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. He'll go underneath with this one to McKissick. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
That's not good enough, man.
Now, you don't want to see that penalty at any point, but it adds a little extra to it when it comes on 3rd down.
It certainly does, because if this were a boxing match, they had them on the ropes there. 3rd down incompletion, 4th down upcoming. Instead, that mistake resets everything back to 1st down, which means they have to stay on the field longer to try and stop this drive.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory.